Yo, everybody, what's up? I'm Antoine Harris, your host of Life on the Court podcast. Welcome back to the show, and thank you for joining. Now, on this show, we like to give you tips, tools, and strategies to use and to employ with life in your own court. So, here on today's episode, and actually for the next coming weeks, we're going to be talking about a tool that you need to know that will help you right away. And that tool is the DISC assessment. Like, honestly, ask yourself, have you taken the DISC assessment? Like, what is the DISC assessment? Well, I'll tell you, the DISC assessment is a test, that personality test that you take that really helps you with being a better version of yourself in so many ways. So when I say DISC, it's actually an acronym. It's for dominant, D is for dominant, the I is for influence, the S is for supportive, and the C is for conscientiousness. So when we talk about these things in the DISC assessment, we're actually all four. We're all four, but you test the two highest, maybe DI or SI or these other levels that you will test at really give you your dominant trait of like who you are and just more about yourself. It's just a lot of questions that you would go to really just kind of unlock your personality, in a sense, unlock your identity as well. You may have done the Myers-Briggs test or haven't, or the Enneagram. So it's pretty much the same thing, and it's actually a product that we offer here at the Antoine Harris Group. We offer it to schools. We have one for students. And I got some notes here today because it's kind of a lot to really explain. And like I said, over the next several weeks, we're going to just continue to break this down and give you each letter and their description and just kind of be able to see where you fall in at. And if you're just intrigued enough, which I hope you should be, to venture out and take the test or even set up a test with me. So let's jump into it. That DISC assessment, what it does is it empowers you to understand yourself, it empowers you to understand your coworkers, family, your friends, in such a profound way than ever before. And some of those benefits include you become a better communicator. You're able to minimize or prevent conflict. Like, how many of us will be able to, who will like that in our lives today, to minimize or prevent conflict with the people that we work with the people that we live at home with, and the people that we communicate to on the regular basis. And the last thing it does, it gives you an appreciation for other people and their differences, and allows you to be a positive influence on that person, and then in a sense allow others who are in your environment, who are in your circle, to have that positive influence on you as well. So let me just talk about my results from the DISC assessment. Before I just dive into that, I'm just going to go back over it again. This assessment, the DISC, and just in a quick description, when we talk about dominant, the two words that come to mind are bold and skeptical. That dominant person, bold and skeptical. When it comes to that influence person, that influence person, bold and accepting. When it comes to that supportive person, the S, supportive person, those two words are cautious and accepting. And when it comes to that conscientious person, that C, that's cautious and skeptical. So let me get into my results when I took the DISC assessment. And I test as a DI, which is a dominant, and influence. So those two words, these four words are I'm bold yet skeptical, and I'm bold and accepting. So going through my results, talking about my style summary: dominant and inspiring, very outgoing, usually task oriented, and sometimes people oriented. That's the task summary. When it talks about my style description, by having this personality style of a dominant and influence, it says that I'm very active and outgoing. If you guys know me, seen my podcast, seen me speak, you guys know that I am very active and outgoing, and my presentations are extremely interactive. Also enjoy completing tasks. Like as I sit here and look to my right, your left potentially, that I am looking at my to-do list, my checklist, my board that has everything on it. And I also enjoy people. One of my favorite things to do is karaoke. We have some people out there who love to karaoke, or if you sing in the shower, that's cool too. But I like to go out and do some karaoke. It also says the activities excites and energizes me. Some of my difficult assignments make my blood flow a little bit faster. I have the startup skills required for any job and the people skills to get everyone involved. I am fast paced and I like to live on the edge. Hey guys, I'm an entrepreneur, small business owner. And yes, that is what I do. I like to live on the edge. This career that I discovered that fits for me has been life changing and paramount to my day-to-day life. And another thing, it actually, my print off gave me some words that describe me. For all my dominant, my DIs out there: ambitious, bold, competitive, decisive, deliberate, demanding, determined, direct, domineering, imaginative, impulsive, independent, involving, persuasive, polished, spontaneous, verbal, emotional, and enthusiastic. Some of that, if you know somebody who's that DI, who's that dominant, like those are probably, if you're watching this and you maybe test as that, you can probably agree to that. Some of my primary drive is producing tangible results through influence with people. My individual greatness is I'm self-motivated, high energy to get results with people. I'm in the business of serving people. So it's only fair that it's only right. It's the alignment that I have with what I do for a living and actually what I tested on this particular DISC assessment. The value that I bring to the organization: I initiate activities and I motivate others to action. Keys to motivate: take risks to achieve results. No close supervision. I like to work on my own, work for myself. Excitement and prestige. Opportunity to work hard and play hard. Again, you guys are probably gonna laugh at me if you know me, like personally, you know how I get down. Like I love to work hard and play hard. And I always look for, last but not least, a new challenge. My ideal environment is where quick decisions are required. We're in a world, we're in a time where you have to make a decision or die. I'll run that back. I just heard a podcast the other day that they were talking about that. You got to make a decision or die, because sometimes that delay in your decision could really hurt you or hurt the people around you. My also ideal environment is a variety of activities and roles with people. Everything goes with people. What I do for a living, everyone, is to serve people, to help you with life in your court. The name of the podcast right now that you're watching, my leadership lifestyle is I lead by taking charge. So I'm not just going to bring things and ideas and on this cast to be able to just talk about it. Like I've actually done it, and those were my results. And I'm here to tell you that we're trying to get into a place where we can help students. We get schools on board to have this assessment to help students be more self-aware, have a more like a real school community where we're understanding each other's and empowering students and just embodying their differences. This is a way to do it. We talk about differentiation in the classroom. Here is a tool to do it. So I just, if you watch this cast, if you work in the school, you need to share it with your administrators today about a tool, the DISC assessment that we offer the students. It breaks it down for the students when they're able to get literature about themselves, when teachers are able to get literature about each student, when there's literature to go home for the parents, and if they're in an after-school club or have activities and they have a coach, there is a literature for that coach as well, because we've used this quote, it takes a village to raise a child. Okay, so now having the literature for the students, the literature for the teacher, all the teachers, the literature for the parents, guardians, and the literature for the coach. Like, where can we go wrong with that when we're trying to help students be better, help them be more college and career ready? This is the way to do it, by going through and having them take the DISC assessment. And because we have these schools like who are, yes, they're traditional style schools. That's understandable. But what about when we talk about meeting students where they're at? This is a way to do that. We have 21st century learners. They are digital natives. So it is important and imperative that we provide them with the tips, tools, strategies, and resources to be able to help them be better versions of themselves. So again, the DISC assessment, it can help with relationships. Like, that's one of my number one things is networking and building relationships. As an educator, when you're working with students, especially in today's time, it is important that you start with building the relationships with each student. Because like I said before, it's caring before content. Okay, so here's my final thoughts on today's episode of the podcast talking about the DISC assessment. These DISC test results will help you find meaning in your actions and behaviors. It's the summaries and those descriptions can also help you identify areas where you can perform successfully and areas of challenge that you can improve your efficiency on. So with that being said, that's it for this episode of Life on the Court podcast. I really hope you enjoyed it. For the next several weeks, I'm going to be breaking down each and every letter in the DISC assessment that you could use just to break it down so you can understand it better, and then hopefully empower you to go and take this test. Come and take it with me. I offer it. All you have to do is just contact me. So for more episodes of Life on the Court podcast, please visit us on YouTube, search Antoine Harris, on Instagram, coach.aharris, on Facebook, type in Antoine Harris, on Spotify, Apple Podcasts. You can find us to continue to watch episodes of Life on the Court. So until next time, I'm out. Peace.